Hey, VC Jack here. Welcome to Vinyl Martini. I haven't done a video in about 3 weeks, and the reasons for that are, well, I've just been busy. I went away for a little bit, and I've been working around the house and doing some visiting, and it's about time for me to do another video. And truth be told, I was hoping to have some new records to show you. I, I said I went away for 3 or 4 days, and there was a record store in town that I wanted to visit. Sadly, the record store closed, so I tried a number of different things. I went to some thrift stores, I went to some vintage stores, and overpriced garbage. I end up coming away with a couple of records that I'll show in another video, but basically I came up with Snake Eyes. So I am happy to do a video, and this is a contest entry for Mr. Craig Danger. His channel is Vinyl Record Player. The rules of the contest are pretty simple. First of all, you've got to have your own VC channel, do an entry. You've got to mention Craig's name at least once in the video. You've got to put his tag up in the title, Vinyl Record Player. And to get back to the records, and the real reason for the contest is he wants us to show some blind buys. And I love blind buys. If you've been watching my channel, you know I get blind buys all the time, and I always buy them cheap. And I'm really happy to show them on my channel and share them with you, ups and downs. But he wants us to show at least 5 blind buys. I'm going to do that by one better. And he wants us to show at least one blind buy that didn't pan out. So without further ado, let's get started. First record, blind buy, I bought this in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I do not have enough gospel music. I just live in the wrong area of the world. But while I was there, I ran across this one. It is called Reverend F.C. Barnes and Sister Janice Brown. The name of the record is It's Me Again, Lord. And this is a pretty good gospel record. It is on the, the label is, sorry, I can't even read the label here. It was produced by Atlanta International Record Company, recorded at Mega Sounds in Bailey, North Carolina, mixed at Melody Recording Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. And this is not like a self-released record by any means, but must have been marketed in a lot of black communities, you know, somewhere, certainly around the South. Maybe in Dallas, maybe in Texas, in LA, in California. But the Reverend F.C. Barnes has a big congregation in North Carolina, as does Sister Janice Brown. She's a minister as well. Really happy that I picked this up. This cost me $3. If I could pick up more gospel music on kind of self-released records, I would. Like I said, I live in the wrong area of the world. Hopefully, I'm going to do a road trip through the South. I think that'll be more fertile grounds, but really great record. Most of the songs are penned by the Reverend Barnes. It's Me Again, Lord. It's Me Again, Thanking You. Take Your Burden to Jesus. Thank God for the Bible. Come in the Room. Great stuff. Very sincere, and just because it's secular music, it's still worth a listen. So really happy that I picked this up, and like I said, $3. Didn't know anything about it. Happy to have that. Next up, and this is some of these records. I knew the artist, but I did not know what they sounded like. So I consider that a blind buy. So it's a mixed bag here. But I've known the name Esther Phillips for a long time. Did not know what she sounded like. Used to be a rock and roll kind of guy, hard rock kind of guy, and I've shifted over to more soulful music. This is called For All We Know. It is on Kudo. It is Kudo 28, and that is a label started and owned by Creed Taylors of CTI Records. Yeah, Esther Phillips has got an amazing, amazing voice. This is a very lush record. This record started me on my Esther Phillips journey. It's really, really great. Does a lot of covers, Unforgettable, For All We Know, Fever, Pure Natural Love. So she didn't write any of the songs, but it's a great record, and she's a great singer. Had a very tragic life. Started her professional life, I think, when she was 14. Started going out on the road when she was 14 with, was it the Johnny Taylor Band? I might not have that correct. But she had her own personal problems, drugs, alcohol. Died a tragic death, of course, but amazing, amazing singer, Esther Phillips. And I've got disco records by her. I've got early stuff in 1964 that preceded this Kudo stuff, and she never really disappoints. So I love this, love Esther Phillips. Highly recommended if you enjoy a soul artist, a black artist, if you like. Here is next up, King Curtis, live at the Fillmore West. Now, I've known King Curtis for a long time, and the first time I heard a King Curtis record was a friend of mine bought a Jimi Hendrix with King Curtis album. It was just shortly after Jimmy's death, and there was a rush of records that had anything to do with Jimi Hendrix. And Jimmy used to play guitar in King Curtis's band. And my friend played the record, we listened to it, and there was no hints of Jimi Hendrix, the Jimi Hendrix we know, with that kind of psyche sound, his distinctive guitar sound. He was basically, a rhythm guitar player in the King Curtis band. And this was when Jimmy was playing on the Chitlin circuit. And anyways, Jimi Hendrix is not on this record. But anyways, the point is that I knew who King Curtis was. This is my first King Curtis record as a bit of a blind buy, and it is a smashing record. Great sax player, really, really funky record. All covers on here, I think. Memphis Soul Stew, Whiter Shade of Pale, Whole Lot of Love, I Stand Accused, Ode to Billy Joe, Mr. Bojangles, but delivered in a very, very soulful, funky style. So this is a great blind buy. I think it cost me about $5 at a record show. So King Curtis, live at Fillmore West. One of my first soul records, blind buys, that I bought in 1980 in Toronto. And I can actually remember what other record I bought when I bought this record. This is Vernon Birch, and the album's called I'll Be Your Sunshine. The other record I bought when I went to a record store in Toronto with this was Clash London Calling. And this was in one of those kind of metal racks, cheapy racks at the front of the store. And it was kind of employees recommend records. And as you can see on this record, it's written in marker. Great voice, excellent album. And I bought it for $1. Vernon Birch is from Chicago, I believe. A little bit like Stevie Wonder. This is a smashing record. I've maybe seen it once in 40 years or 45 years. He has recorded more than one record, but I think this is his high water mark. Fantastic record. Like I said, a little bit like Stevie Wonder, except he doesn't play keyboards, he plays guitar. Very, very soulful. It's on United Artists. United Artists is one of those labels that had lots of great artists, but they didn't know how to push them forward. Like, they never kind of went anywhere. You think there's lots of British bands that United Artists distributed in the States, but they never went anywhere. They didn't go as far as they could have gone. And Vernon Birch is not a British artist, but an American artist that is well worth a listen. If you ever see this record, Vernon Birch, I'll Be Your Sunshine, fantastic record. I still play it to this day. I play it a couple of times a year, and it is just fantastic. Produced by I should have looked this up here. I think self-produced. Special thanks to Tom Wilson, Bob Cato, a bunch of other people. Dedicated to his mother. I'm trying to get the production cut. Oh, produced by Tom Wilson and Vernon Birch. So Tom Wilson, of course, famous black producer who produced a lot of white rock and folk rock, country rock. He had really great career as a producer. He's still alive, I think. Anyways, a great example of a Tom Wilson produced record, Vernon Birch. If you ever see this record, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. I bought this record in Amsterdam. My wife and I were just walking around, just seeing the sights and sounds, and I hadn't planned on going to a record store, but on our little walk around town, it's not right in the central part of Amsterdam. It's a little outside on the sort of outer rings of the canals. But I passed a record store, and Jan was just a little ahead of me, and I said, "Tss, tss." And she just, yes. She turned around, she said, yes. I said, there's a record store. Do you mind if I drop in for a second? She said, no problem. It was a nice sunny day. I'll be sitting up on that bench there. Try not to make it too long. So I was only in the record store for about 15 minutes, but I just found this record. I don't know anything about Barbara Blake, or didn't know anything about Barbara Blake. And this is on 20th Century Records, and it is a 1975 release. And as I did a little bit of research on her, she released about 3 or 4 singles as a solo artist that went nowhere. And then she recorded this record. And this is a great, great soul record. She's got a fantastic voice. They kind of devised this backing vocal ensemble behind her. And I think it was recorded in Detroit, Chicago or Detroit. And if you find a copy of this, like a mint copy, it's over $100. It's the only record she ever recorded. And after this was released, it went nowhere. Her career went nowhere. And she kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. She just quit the music industry, and nobody really knows where she went. Nobody's been able, I don't think, ever able to find her, because maybe she got married or whatever, just disappeared in the woodwork. But this is a fantastic record, and it's called Barbara Blake and the Unique. The Unique being the backing vocals on this great, great soul record. So happy I found this. I did not pay $100 for this. You can see it's got water damage on it. I think I got it for around €8. So very, very fortunate find indeed. Blind Buy. They're the best buys. Last of the good blind buys that I found, and I've got hundreds of great blind buys, but this is a record I bought in Paris. I think I bought it for €5, and this is a guy called Billy Joe Bicote. I hope I'm saying his name right. This is a British pressing on Liberty Records, and he might have recorded another record, but the reason I bought it is so unusual to find a black artist that just plays acoustic music and not in the blues style, like country blues. And this is just simply Billy Joe on vocals, guitar, and a harmonica. It's a 1969 release. All the lyrics are on the back there, so they're really kind of complex stories about black life. It's really unusual to find a black folk singer, really. You think about, Richie Havens, but Richie Havens is not a writer. He's an interpreter. You think about Tracy Chapman, who is a writer and a great writer. So it's I'm always on the lookout for unusual records like this, and this one did not disappoint me. There are 10 tracks on here, about 8 great renderings of songs on here, so I'm so happy to find this. If I ran across another of his recordings, I would pick it up immediately. So that is Billy Joe Bicote, and the album's called Reflections from a Cracked Mirror. So very unusual. really happy that I picked that up. Now for the disappointing record. Oh, by the way, did I mention that a guy called Craig Danger is running this contest? Oh yeah, I think I did. So that is at least 3 or 4 times, Craig. If you're counting. Disappointing record. This is a kind of soul funk record from 1977. You see it kicking around the bins. It's not that unusual a record, but I took a chance on it. It is a soul funk record, and the album is called Devil's Gun. And it's one of those records that I bought, as we sometimes do, because of the cover. So it's kind of an interesting cover. There's the devil with the gun, and there's all these skulls in the background. Pretty unusual for a kind of black soul funk outfit. Now, this is a perfectly fine record, except that it is pretty mundane. Pretty good singers, very good playing. It's funk in the little disco vein. Of course, it's 1977, so everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. If you're black, you got to play some disco music because that's what's current. And the problem is this record kind of suffers from, it doesn't have any hooks. So there's 5 songs on here, and they're all pretty long. Some of them are 7 minutes, 9 minutes, 5, 7. So pretty long songs for what is basically a funk disco record. Like I said, it's not very distinguished. I'm sure Craig Danger has seen this in the bins. Maybe he even has it. And I'm sure that if he bought it, it's something that he wouldn't hold on to very long. So there we go. I think I've met all the criteria, Mr. Craig Danger. Craig has very generously offered up $100 US prize money for the winner of this contest. Like $100 US is like, let's see, about $300 US Canadian. I'm totally bullshitting, but it's US dollars are worth a lot more than Canadian dollars. So I never enter these contests thinking I'm going to win. I always enter contests because the subject matter, the criteria intrigues me. I do it to support a fellow VC member. And anyways, but I would still, I got to be honest, I would like to win 100 US Amazon gift card or whatever the heck it is. So anyways, there you go, Mr. Craig Danger. Hope it meets all your criteria. I am going to be doing a couple of videos in the next little while. I'm probably going to try to stockpile some videos because I am going away again. I will talk about that more in a video to come. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you're just sort of hanging in there. Music is helping you in this crazy world. And till next time, thanks for watching. See you next time.